Podtacular episode 299.1, Halo 4 Forge, for July 11th, 2012. Hello everyone, welcome back to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am your host, Duststorm.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm your co-host. I'm your co-host, DaftLink.
And I'm the guest host, ODST EJY.
Daft, you just kind of plowed through about the first three hurdles and kind of stopped.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have ODST EJY here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We did try to do a recording of this earlier this week, but my recording software did not decide to work that day and did not record anything. So we're re-recording this, and we did have Karts on, and Karts has been a long-time community member.
Shout out to Karts.
Yeah, shout out to Karts. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get a hold of him over the past 2 days, so we'll have to get him on one of our future shows. We're really sorry, Karts. We really are. So, yeah, don't hate us. We'll get you back on the show. But
He's stuck around for this long, and I don't know if he's going anymore.
yeah, probably. Gosh, if we build on us now, that'd be very, very ironic.
Yeah.
So we had some stuff come out of RTX, and for those of you who don't know, that's the Rooster Teeth Expo down in Austin, Texas. The big announcement that we got was Halo 4 Forge. We had our first live demonstration of the capabilities in Forge, or what we were going to see for the most part. And there were a lot of little things in there that I think a lot of forgers are going to really appreciate. Now, Daft has a qualm with how Jess opened it, and I think a lot of us are kind of just used to it by now, but it's still a little ridiculous.
Wait, no, there was something. Well, she didn't open it as any such. I'm talking about. Okay, so when they're showing off the dynamic lighting, and when they construct the base, and like, whoa, dynamic lighting, which I thought was very cool. I like the dynamic lighting a lot. They're like, there's the official name of this software is like really long. It has multiple syllables, which is it's fine. It's, it's whatever. But then BS Angel, Jessica Shea, whatever. She was like, oh yeah, and then somewhere in that name is there's probe is in there. Ha ha ha. We'll just leave it at that. Ha ha ha. Like probe. Ha, sex joke. Ha ha. And I just thought like that just like I don't know, turned me off like just a little bit. Like I mean I wasn't like this guy. I mean I wasn't like overly offended, but I was just like that just isn't necessary. Like it's just kind of like off color. I felt like why even like make that joke? Like why?
Right.
There's no need. There's no need. It's just like a little off color.
I mean,
if you look at it though, that's almost a gamer culture thing.
Yeah.
So we're a bunch of sex perverts.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Look at the majority of the people on the internet. Look at whenever you're in a group of like close friends, or at least for a lot of the people I play with, like there's those dirty jokes that get dropped pretty frequently. Now they might not get dropped every time you play together, but they come up very frequently.
And come on, Daft. It's like us two together. Like, come on, we have plenty of dirty jokes.
I'm not trying to be like up on a high horse here. I just feel like, and yes, it's a Rooster Teeth Expo, and yes, she would never get away with it at E3. I understand that. I just like one man's opinion. This is the personal opinion. I just felt it was just a little off color, unnecessary. I don't need to hear that. Like, just keep it yourself. Keep it to your home life, BS Angel. We don't need that for Halo. You're not promoting Leisure Suit Larry. All right, this is Halo.
While we're on the subject of that video, that whole video kind of seemed odd to me. I was expecting like a Vidoc or something, and it was I guess it felt kind of like strewn together. And the one that I saw was a little not very high quality, but I don't know, it was cool. I like some of the stuff they showed off. I mean, it looks like you're gonna be able to build maps in like 5 minutes now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they didn't record the gameplay straight off of it. They just basically someone recorded the stream and put it on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean, yeah. That's why it's so bad.
So yeah, it's low quality, but you get the general sense of what's going on.
Yeah, those magnets are definitely going to be a game changer. I think that's probably the biggest thing, because like
Right.
You finally have a locking mechanism now, and
And we'll get to
I think
those. Let's go in order. Let's pick this thing apart piece by piece.
yeah.
So the first thing that we get to that is really shown off is the ability to know what item you're picking. So whenever you're hovering over an item now and you have your little monitor icon over something, anything that you highlight or anything that you're currently would be selected is highlighted in green or red if it's locked. So you know what piece you're picking up now instead of having to guess at which one you might be selecting or deleting. And I think a prime example of that is whenever you're placing spawn points and you go to move the spawn point or delete the spawn point and instead you delete the floor beneath it. So
I've done that a lot of times.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that. It's a lot of these things in here are just really simple features that they've implemented, but will make forging a lot easier. And I think the highlight thing is wonderful.
Oh yeah, that's probably second behind magnets. Is got to be the highlighting thing is very, very cool.
I mean, one of the things that they demoed was they had a pile of things just laying out there in the middle of this new Forge world.
Yeah.
And they were able to go through and pick one specific item and pull it out. Now, granted, everything else kind of fell apart because they were all in one big pile, but he was able to pick which item that he wanted out of this huge pile that was there.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like that they had the names in the middle of the screen. That's really it's just a nice touch. It's convenient.
Oh yeah, so there's also the object name that appears under your monitor reticle on whatever object you're hovering over.
Yeah.
Lots of convenient UI things in here.
Yeah. Speaking of UI, like HUD stuff, towards the beginning of the presentation, when they were flying down towards the map more, and you saw like the Return to Battlefield thing pop up, I thought it looked just like the one from Reach. And like for a second, I know it's like a placeholder, but for a second, like it felt like I was watching like Halo Reach 0.5.
Yeah.
No, Halo Reach 0.5 or like Halo Reach 2. I mean, however you want to phrase it, just a little bit, and that's not their fault. I mean, that's more, I guess, like it's Xbox hardware limitations at this point. But,
well, and they're still probably working on the final assets of the Forge interface, and they said that a lot of this stuff is alpha build and is pretty much primed to be replaced by something else down the pipe.
Yeah.
And they may have already replaced it because a lot of the stuff they make as press kits, they make like 9 months in advance and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, they're like pre-alpha builds.
Yeah.
With like stability updates. It's just nice to see them showcase some of the new features, even though they might not be fleshed out yet.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing these new things is just kind of one of the ways that you build confidence in the community and build confidence in your customers. So what we saw in this video, I think, was very pleasing to a lot of people. Next on the list is the ability to lock objects. So whenever you have an object in place and you don't want it to move anywhere, you can hit left on the D-pad and you will lock an object in place. And you can't do anything with that object. You can't like select it or move it or accidentally bump it without unlocking it first.
Oh, cool.
It's also pretty cool.
So that also kind of goes along the lines of accidentally moving something without meaning to.
Yeah. I
So
like the one.
So like if you have a certain part of your map that's done and you don't want to move it, you can lock everything and then go work on something else that might kind of extend off of that.
Yeah. I like the magnet feature.
Yeah. That was one. Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess we can talk about it now. You guys are drooling over it. So let's talk about magnets.
See, I'll go back to my little story from the original recording about the magnet thing. I remember a couple of years ago I was watching this episode of RB and the Chief, where RB was playing around with Halo 3's Forge.
I remember that, yeah.
And he was like making something on Foundry, and he was like, playing with some like wall panel or something, trying to get it like aligned perfectly. It was like, why can't they, include some 90-degree snapping feature for this or something? But I think this magnet thing is pretty, it's helpful and it kind of in that vein. Just having things perfect. Yeah, having things perfectly aligned and everything. Yeah.
Because
right.
I mean, this also you got to think about like, I don't know, it's a weird step Forge is taking. It's like one of these things like, in Halo 3 you knew what a good map was because it took like 300 hours with all the geo-merging and the saving and quitting to lock objects in the air. It was a very complicated procedure. It wasn't something you could just whip up, you know? And now we have these tools being given to these basically just out there. And I don't know. It's definitely weird because now it's harder to find a higher quality map, which is something I think we saw in Reach, where it was a little more difficult to find a higher quality custom map. Because, you know, it wasn't easy to identify who really put the time and effort to make a perfectly crafted map. So, I don't know, that could be an issue, but...
Yeah, I could see where part of that is. But these tools also make it easier for those good map developers to make the maps even quicker.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a dual-hatted persona in a way. You have the good part where you have this tool that really simplifies and makes making maps easier for these really, really good map designers. And then it just kind of introduces things where anyone can make up a map pretty quickly and kind of saturate the universe out there of custom maps.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I mean, that's why you usually have people that go around sharing stuff, and the things that get popular are the ones that spread around throughout communities and websites. So things like speed, things like bumper hogs. There's like some infection variants.
Well, hopefully Halo 4 will have a much like stronger, longer lived, kind of like Forge / custom games.
Oh,
like community / experience than Reach did.
I think.
Did anyone feel like Halo 3 had a way better like custom game / Forge?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a community.
But I think that goes back to what EJY was saying, that the custom map marketplace, so to speak, is so saturated with all these additional maps that it's hard to find the good quality maps. And then in Halo 3, you had these known map makers that you knew made good maps and good game types to go with these maps, and you just had a lot of fun.
It was more of an art in Halo 3 that you really had to master.
Right.
No, it was crazy. I mean, to be a good forger, you needed to go to Forge Hub to basically learn how to forge. It was nuts. Like,
but then I look at like stuff like Jenga and like monster trucks. Like, as fun as that stuff is it really hard? Is it really that hard to construct and forge?
I don't know. Yeah, some of it.
It's not hard to construct, but it's hard to create like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's just like painting. Anyone can paint. It just depends on how good the painting is and what people think of it.
It's like Fat Kid, which I thought was like kind of kind of uncreative, yet everyone like played it.
Everyone loved it. I got tired of that map very quickly. I don't think it's that fun,
yeah, to be honest.
For some reason, I always got to be the ice cream man who ran over everyone like almost half the time.
Ice cream man, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was Air Vent.
Air Vent?
The Vent one on Foundry?
Yeah.
Where you had all the vehicles and the fusion coils, and you threw it down the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
that was fun.
I thought I always called that like garbage disposal or something.
I forget what the official name for it is, but yeah.
I remember when the people go on.
I think the one that was fun in Reach was the toilet bowl game, where because I remember playing those with Siete Cinco 75 and some other guys from Podtacular, where you're like bouncing on top of people's heads, trying to shove them down the toilet bowl and all that, trying to get them stuff by golf ball. That was fun as hell, but yeah. Halo.
It definitely. Sorry, go ahead.
I think Halo 2 had some those were some fun customs, because I think Infection, back when you actually had to change teams and it was all on trust and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely think Halo 3 was the best as far as customs went.
There definitely seems to be more variety of fun custom maps in Reach. It's just it doesn't seem as well distributed because it's not as popular.
Yeah. I think they need a better way to get the maps, it didn't feel as accessible, like the way the file share worked. I wish they had like kind of a top 25 or something like that, like a Billboard's hits for maps.
Yeah, they had that on BNet. They don't have that on Waypoint though.
All right.
Wait, is there in Reach? Can you take a picture? Can you take a screenshot and like set it as like the screenshot of like a map or something per se?
No.
Oh, you should be able to do that. That'd be a good idea, like a map or something per se. You make a custom map, you should be able to take like a screenshot of it, and then have that as like the screenshot like you see when you like select the custom map.
Didn't
like,
Karts mention that on our last recording? Wasn't that
maybe?
I think he brought it up as one of the recommended things.
That would definitely help because like Forge World, all you just see is these like these green pastures and some gray structures in the back.
Right.
You don't really get any idea what the map looks like. Yeah.
It's like
but
it's like when you're in matchmaking, like the map voting comes up. What's this map look like? What's this map look like? Asylum?
Yeah, you have no idea what it is. If you get 3 different Forge World maps and you haven't played them before, then you're like, okay, I have no idea what any of these are.
These maps are all, an island with a couple trees on it.
At the same time, though, even if they did take a picture, I don't think I'd know what they are because they all have that same gray architecture with the green pasture. It's all so aesthetically similar.
Very if idyllic nature kind of.
Yeah, if I see Countdown, I know what Countdown looks like. If I see Sword Base, I know what Sword Base looks like immediately. If I see a Forge World variant, I probably won't know Trident from Renegade. I probably won't be able to tell the difference that quickly.
The thing about doing something like that, though, is if you get these people that make obscene things on some random part of the map that you don't see, and then have that as their screenshot, then that could get problematic.
Oh yeah.
That'd be the only reason. That'd be one of the main reasons why I think they might not do something like that. So, yeah.
It's kind of like what server banners are like right now in Battlefield 3, where you just log on and then they just have like crazy server banners and shit. I guess that's for all PC games, kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean they could do it because online interactions are not rated by the ESRB.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. I think that's a very fine line that they have to be careful with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would be very nice to help differentiate custom maps.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on.
How about player trait zones?
Player trait zones are also a new addition. So anything that you'd be able to modify in a custom game type setting in terms of like base player traits, you can put in these fields, similar to how capture zones and respawn zones work. You set the height, you set the width, you set the geometry, and then these traits get applied to whoever's in them. So I can see a lot of different kind of Forge maps getting pulled out of stuff like this just with these crazy additions. So if you think of the Indiana Jones map, you can basically have that on steroids with all these player fields.
Yeah.
Player trait fields.
Oh, that would be cool.
You could have like a Sonic the Hedgehog map, have like a really fast speeds player trait zones.
I don't think you'd be able to run upside down on a big loop though.
Yeah, but it's like on Sonic those treadmill things you run on periodically, like to boost your speed. Make like a player trait zone that increases your running speed.
Now, is there some sort of like are these? I didn't really get this. Were they invisible, the player trait zones? Or was there like a little marker where you could
they're invisible. So, well, they're not invisible in Forge, but if you think of like a respawn zone, you know how you have the white border?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't show up in the game, but it's there.
All right. I definitely could see some cool things with like VIP or something like that, or some sort of game type.
You can probably do some interesting stuff with infection game modes and race.
Yeah.
Race, I think, would be a big one.
Like Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. One other thing that got introduced early on, which we haven't talked on yet, was the duplication mode. So whenever you're hovering on an object, you hit down on the D-pad and you instantly duplicate an object. So if you have done any Forge at all in Halo Reach, which I'm hoping everyone has at least dabbled in it who's listening to this.
Yeah.
On Hemorrhage, more or less.
On Hemorrhage, you have the half bases that you have to pull out one half and then match the other half with it. So with the duplication, you can just take the one half that's out there, and instead of having to navigate through all the menus again, you just hit down on the D-pad, you duplicate, and then you have the other half of the base. And then with the assistance of magnets, you can rotate it around and snap it to the other part of the base.
This is going to sound really out there, but I'd love some sort of Kinect integration that I could just kind of yell at it, say what I want or something like that. But I hate menus. I despise menus. I hate navigating through menus. I could never play RPGs as a kid because I just hated menus.
The thing is,
I'd love the Kinect sensor.
With Kinect, you kind of have to reserve yourself for what commands you allow. Like I can see calling out object names.
Yeah.
I can see using that for connect. I don't want to see all this. You're placing objects with the movement of your hands. No.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
nothing
yeah.
like
No,
that. I can see like saying red spawn zone, and you have a spawn zone with the trait that's going to be for red team, and then you can place it down. And you could also possibly say 2 by 5 by 10, so width by height by depth or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them doing something with Connect in that, but I don't want to see anything that's too extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With having to actually use your body. It's just something that's purely voice.
Screw Connect.
Right.
No more Connect. Just stop with the Connect. Stop. Just stop.
Not even Connect, but voice control. I think can have some sort of
I wish for voice control that you could use your headset, because it's the same thing. It's a voice input device.
Because they're lazy and they want you to buy Connect for that garbage. You know, let's face the elephant in the room. They want you to go out and buy Connect for the voice control. They're never gonna, even though they can do it for the headset, they're not going to, because they want you to go buy Connect for it.
I mean, if you look at all the cool things for Connect so far that, in my opinion, hardcore gamers have gone for, look at Skyrim. All of that is voice input. It's no body movements whatsoever. It's all of your dragon spells you do by voice command, which is a huge addition, and people love it for that. But that's a voice command. That's utilizing like 15-20% of Connect's full capability.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to get into the full capability, you're doing something like Dance Central.
But see, Dusty, you're making the fatal mistake of thinking that Microsoft actually listens to the input of the hardcore gamers that have kept it afloat for years and years.
Well, I mean, there's lots of evidence that to that case not. And listening to a few other podcasts, I mean, their E3 presentation, in some people's opinions, is like, okay, they're completely forgetting the hardcore gamers.
Yeah, Usher, who cares about that nonsense?
It's like Halo, we're milking for it.
Usher, I'm so gay. That's what he's basically singing up there, as far as I'm concerned.
I didn't care for Usher.
Yeah.
I personally was like, okay, I'm seeing the Halo 4 stuff, and that's all I was really interested in.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, the only other big thing I took out of E3 was Assassin's Creed. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. And Watch Dogs.
Well, sure, Watch Dogs.
Those were the two other big games that I took out of E3 was Assassin's Creed 3 and Watch Dogs.
Sure, Watch Dogs.
Why, you don't like Watch Dogs?
No, I'm kidding. No, it looks... I don't know, it's just like... Yeah, it looks cool, but like... I don't know, nobody was shut up about it. You know what I mean?
It's like, a cool concept, though.
It is a cool concept, but it's like when E3 was going on, like, oh, you see Watch Dogs? Oh, yeah. Watch Dogs. But
like, you could say the same thing about Halo.
Yeah, definitely about Halo.
I don't know. I guess it's just like, it kind of annoys, once again, personal opinion, DaftLink here, it just kind of annoys me when people get like overly excited about stuff. I don't know. Like, I try to like maintain this, like, I kind of try to keep it cool. Like a cool kind of excitement for stuff. I don't know. I don't like getting overly excited, and like I don't like other people getting overly excited about stuff. Like, it really annoys me actually a lot. I just find it obnoxious and just kind of like embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them in a way. I don't know.
Then do yourself a favor and never go to PAX.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like to keep it like at a cool level of excitement personally.
And don't hang around the heavy waypoint crew that I usually hang around with, because that's a crazy bunch.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Player, I think that covers all the Halo Forge stuff specifically. Oh, dynamic lighting. We mentioned it, but we haven't really touched on it. So whenever everyone's in monitor mode, you have this global lighting effect that you would normally see in Halo Reaches and Halo 3's Forge, where it's all static lighting. You can go anywhere in the map, and the lighting is pretty much the same. On Halo Reach, everything is dynamic lighting. So any object that you place will cast shadows on any other object and the terrain. So when at least one person is in player mode, you have a little wait message that comes up while it's rendering the dynamic lighting, and then it gets applied. So that's one of the cool things is that you actually now have shadows that get casted by forge objects instead of having this static lighting everywhere. So if you actually wanted to make a big dark cave, you could actually make a big dark cave.
Woo! That'd be cool
I
for
think
like
that's very cool.
maps where you can go like explore and stuff. Like,
Yeah. Or like those infection ones where it's like supposed to be a dark room and the only way they can do that is by putting the visual effects on.
oh yeah, just like spamming all the colors. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets
I really wish
annoying.
we had some weather effects or some lighting effects for this of that.
That's another thing that they
It's like
said.
ODST, man. Engine can't do rain. You know.
There is rain in ODST.
No, there's not.
No,
Yes, there is.
They talked about it. It's like it's not rain. It's just like they do a little visual effects, but it's not actual rain, and they just change your footsteps and they change a lot of things. But the engine doesn't
There's
do
raindrops that come down.
There is not rain in that game.
It's not raindrops though. I forget how they explained it, but it's not actual raindrops.
It's a facade.
It's simulated rain. It's still rain.
No, it's a facade.
But they just change around some lighting. They change around
Because
some
I
visual
had this discussion with someone else, and they went in game during the podcast, and they said, "Yes, it is raining."
Well, it's raining. It looks like it's raining, but it's actually not raining. It just
Does it matter?
appears-
Right.
it's
Oh,
raining.
It's funny. It's like it sounds like Egan's like, yeah, this realistic weather event that happens in the real world. It's just not happening in this virtual
Yeah, but I
world.
say it's just a matter of perception. I mean, who cares how it's physically done? It's a matter of perception.
Okay, yes, but
It's just not. I don't know. I mean, it rains in GTA 4. It just does not rain. I might add, came out a year before ODST. Yeah, it's not raining ODST. Oh boy, Rockstar beating Bungie on technology. Ooh.
it's a different type of game. But
Yeah. Well, you're in a city either way in both games. Whoa, similarity. But
Yeah.
the
I don't know.
simulated
There's no rain as far as me and Negan are concerned. So well, we say it's so. Yeah. So does someone have a gavel? We can slam down on this. There is no rain. We have decree. Yeah.
Yeah, but they said during the RTX panel there is no weather in Forge. So hopefully that'll be something that we get in maybe Halo 5 or Halo 6 Forge.
Probably Halo 5 because it's like new Xbox.
Yeah, new Xbox. I'm hoping we get a lot of cool
Need
things
a
with
new
Halo
console. 5. You know, it's like you can only make these use of hardware limitations for so long until it's like, yeah, so let's get a new console.
Well,
right?
I mean, the
If
Xbox 360 has been out
issue.
since what, 2006, 2005?
Came out 2005. Didn't have
So
any
it's been
games
around
worth
for-
playing. Didn't have any games worth playing until 06 with like Oblivion and Gears and stuff.
So it's been around for 7 years.
What was that one Mario Party copy? Fusion Frenzy.
Yeah, Fusion Frenzy. I remember like a popular like one of the first Xbox games was like Cameo, where the girl the girl turned into those like creatures and stuff. That game. Mm. And like when did Viva Pinata come out? Was that 2006?
I don't know. I think that's a very old game. That wasn't a launch title. It was close to it.
No. Viva Pinata came out in 2006. Oh yeah. Wow, look at that.
So it's time for a technology upgrade.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the first desktop I built myself, I had actually 5 years ago to this month actually, and I've upgraded it at least once. So that's in the span of like a 3-year turnaround in upgrading stuff.
Yeah.
You don't wait that long.
Yeah.
And that's also one of the arguments why PC gaming will beat out Xbox gaming. And there's all these arguments on whether or not consoles will beat out PC, or PC will beat out mobile devices, or mobile devices will beat out console, blah, 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 blah. That's for another roundtable.
PC gaming... No. Look, shout out to Lancelot and PK, by the way. But, PC gaming is played by a bunch of elitists. They're generally moderate in the game sense.
Are you calling me elitist?
There is that whole mentality. I know what he's talking
Okay,
about.
for example, no, the elitists, the PC gaming. I mean, they really are their own crowd. The PC gaming elitists, make no mistake about it. They are actively obstructing console gamers. Make no mistake.
Why do you say that?
Well, they just have a thing against us. They have. I think it's like a.
You're just talking about like the mentality of
the mentality.
Okay.
There's like a deep seated hatred against console gamers. They see us as inferior. Like, for example, when Team Fortress 2 became...
in certain ways, it is.
Well,
look at the graphics capabilities on computers. Look at the capabilities. You have these graphics cards with 2 gigs of DDR5, DDR6 memory that can output on crazy resolutions if they were unrestricted, running games at like 180 frames a second without any problems on 2 HD, 3 HD screens.
Yeah. I still find consoles more fun.
And mouse, you have so many more buttons with keyboards, and you have a lot more precision with a mouse than you do with thumbsticks.
But I feel more at home with a controller in my hand.
Right. There are pros and cons to both sides.
I find a controller A, more comfortable, and B, more fun than a keyboard and a mouse for gaming.
I actually remember I remember when you guys had a whole episode about this when Chucky was on. My first submission was to the PC versus console debate. I remember that.
It's probably something that we'll revisit.
Definitely. Yeah.
But there are pros and cons to both sides.
Like, for example, when Team Fortress 2 became free to play, I went on there. I went on there. I started playing on my computer.
Team Fortress is so much fun.
And
it's a fun game.
And I found it kind of hard to aim because there's no aim assist like on console games. Like,
and you're not used to it.
Well, let me finish. And so I put in the chat thing. I was kind of like half being sarcastic, but it's like, and I was seeing like if anyone would respond, I put in the chat thing in my Team Fortress 2 game. Why is it so hard to aim? And then someone replied. I mean, I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like, because there's no aiming assist like on consoles. You console noob. It's like
console peasant.
Yeah, peasant. Yeah, PC gaming elitist for you.
I remember you telling me about the first time you picked up TF2, and like. Because like Daft hadn't actually bought a game on Steam, so they didn't let him play with his friends, and he was too cheap to actually go in and buy some hats or something like that. So he was just going on Israeli servers trying to meet up with like his friends and all that.
Shout out to Venom. Shout out to Venom. So yeah, Venom, my good friend Venom. Yeah, he got into Team Fortress 2 as well when it became free to play. This is such a great story, and so. Yeah, neither of us actually bought anything. Yeah, really, it's like cheapos. We get on this, free TF2. We don't want to buy anything, so we can't add each other. So me and him were talking over Xbox Live, like in a party, trying to like basically hook up like on the same server, like from the TF2 server browser. And so the only servers we can like find to go on somehow are just like weirdo like Israeli servers and like Arabic servers and like Australian servers, and they keep like kicking us and banning us and stuff. It was really weird. And then one time we got on this like weirdo server. It wasn't even like an original map. It was a completely like modded, like forged, user created map. It's like some weird, you spawn in this weird room where everyone's just like shooting each other. You go out, you can just like, you can basically float. Like you can just keep jumping and jumping and jumping. You go higher and higher, like basically fly around the map. It was really weird. And we got outside and we like fly up really high. And there's this giant billboard with like a real like picture of like Borat. Like, just, like, copied and pasted on.
Yeah, TF2 can be a very, very interesting place.
Yeah, so there's this picture of Borat, like, pasted onto this giant billboard. And on the picture, there's, like, text at the bottom that says, you can't get this, you can't get this. It's like, what? It was really weird. It was a really odd experience. Tangent.
TF2 can be very fun if you play with the right people, but can be a very, very strange place.
Yeah. It's like that for all PC games.
And we actually had a server for a while.
PC games. Yeah, go play like Gary's Mod. Yeah, basically.
if you start playing like Counter-Strike, I remember playing Counter-Strike and just turning a corner, and there's people playing Dance Dance Revolution in Counter-Strike, and like there's like a darts game going. It was very confusing. It was like the second time I've played Counter-Strike, and it was just completely modded. It was the most weird. Like I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this? Like.
Oh yeah, like yeah, basically like
yeah.
you can only imagine like who's at that computer, like
Yeah.
who's on the other end of there, like. Are they in some like dungeon playing this game like 24/7? Like, when's the last time they slept? Like, it just gives me like vibes like that.
I mean, I listen to a TF2 podcast, so granted I don't play it that much, but I've definitely played on some very, very cool servers. But let's get back on topic.
All right.
So all the Halo 4 Forge stuff is pretty much covered at this point. There is no undo or redo feature. And I don't think there really needs to be with how you can lock stuff in place.
Mm-hmm.
And with the highlighting stuff. So they really give you the tools to prevent messing up what you intend to put something somewhere. So there's really no need for an undo.
An undo button is not that easy to put into. It's not like when you think about it, especially like, I mean, it's easy in like a Paint or something like that program, but in a Forge program, it's not like you can just whip one up.
Well, the reason they gave for not being able to put it in the game was limited capabilities over the network. So being able to track changes that one user does over another has a lot of overhead. It may be something that we'll see with the Xbox 720 and Halo 5, but I don't think we really need it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, it'd be nice. It'd be a nice touch. It'd be convenient. That's all.
Right. I mean, maybe it would have been nice to say, okay, if I'm in a single player, then I'll be able to do this. And if there's more people in here, then disable that functionality.
Yeah.
It's not critical to Forge. And all the things that we have in Forge are a blessing, really. I mean, we rattled off, 5, 6, 7 things right there, which are all like, oh my gosh, why haven't we had this before in Forge?
Yeah.
So, one last thing about, it's not necessarily specifically the Forge functionality, but we're going to have 3 different Forge type maps. So the first one that we saw is kind of Forge World related. There's a name for it. I forget what it is.
It's Forerunner, basically.
Yeah, the architecture that we have on the map that we saw is Forerunner. There is a name to it. I don't remember what it is. But you can tell the map that we saw is kind of smaller than Forge World. And I think that's because we have the 3 Forge spaces. And Frankie mentioned something about pallets. So I think all these 3 different Forge Worlds are going to basically be, you have different pallets. And they're not going to be very identical in layout, but they'll have similar play spaces. So we have Forerunner. I have a good feeling that one of the other ones is going to be human. So like some kind of cityscape thing.
Well, so it's like a holodeck. Like from Star Trek, right? Holodeck. Changes the surroundings around you, but it's still like the same.
No, like they're physically separate maps. You can't just say, okay, I want to change what kind of palette I have. So all the objects in the demo, so for the map that we saw, all the objects in there are static. You can't change them. You can't change palettes or whatever. But we have 3 different Forge maps that basically have quote unquote different themes or palettes tied to them. So we have the Forerunner that we saw. I have a feeling that one of the ones that we're going to see is a human variant. So like the cityscape stuff, hopefully is something that we'll see. And then my guess on the third one would be Covenant.
Probably.
So if we have those 3, I think that'll make forging things a little bit easier. Now we'll still probably have our good collection of gray, but there's going to be other forge spaces that we can venture into and make different. We can make these maps in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think they'll get rid of the whole gray with a splash of green here and there problem that we had in Halo Reach. Now, not saying that Forge World was a bad idea. It's just the colors were very plain.
Yes, very gray.
Especially if you look at MLG, where half of the maps are gray.
But could you really expect anything more creative than that out of MLG? Whoa, cheap shot.
Well, if they had a different palette to work with, I think they could definitely do something else. I mean, look at Foundry. Foundry at least had a little bit of color to it, where
I like Foundry. Yeah, had a nice feel to it, the warehouse feel.
Yeah, and you had other elements in the play space that kind of made it flow and feel a little bit different. where on Forge World you have all these gray plates. Now, yes, MLG does like to have their very solid, very structured layout, which is very Forerunner-esque, so they're probably going to use the Forerunner one a lot. But I can also see them using the human Forge variant, and then they also use Zealot a lot, so I could see them doing some Covenant ones as well. It's just a matter of getting some different visual styles in there to help kind of change the game a little bit and make it more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's move on.
Wait, I have one more thing about Forge.
All right.
A lot of people are like, "Where's the terrain editing? Where's the geography editing?" And
Not yet.
Yeah, I think about that. It's like, so this kind of Forge system that we've had, it started in Halo 3, kind of was really refined in Reach, which is basically a system of like, you can't edit the terrain. That's just solid. That's stuck. But you can at least edit the objects on it. And then Reach improved that with the whole being able to match objects into the ground, which in a way can almost sometimes be terrain editing, like kind of ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's effects and stuff like the coloring and saturation. So I think with that kind of system of forging where like the environment isn't that changeable, but like the objects in it are. I think that's like basically reaching its pinnacle with Halo 4. How they got like the magnet thing going and like the lighting and especially the player tones are interesting. I think, and a lot of people say, oh, like of course they could do it on this console. There's like Far Cry 2 and then there's gonna be Far Cry 3 soon. But I think like maybe like they could do it, but just not to the potential that they want. Maybe the maximum potential that they want to really refine it is just not completely doable on the current 360 console. So maybe they'll just wait for Halo 5 to do it with that Xbox 720. It'll be easier technologically. And then like with Halo 5 they can kind of like introduce a new system of Forge with the terrain editing kind of as the centerpiece, and just kind of like wait for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I think what they'll do is like they'll have Halo 5 as like an Xbox 720 launch title, and they'll have
I don't think the timelines line up.
But I don't care about that. I think it sounds great on pen and paper. How's that?
Well, we have Halo 4 launching. This is 2012, so Halo 5 is going to be launching 2015. But the Halo or the Xbox 720 is rumored to release winter 2014.
I remember hearing a rumor that Halo 3 wasn't going to come out till the Xbox 720. I remember that.
That'd be retarded. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You'd still be waiting.
Yeah.
It would basically be like Duke Nukem Forever.
It's like we should, yeah.
But anyway, I just think it'd be a good.
They would have been able to have time to clean up the crap game that the Halo 3 campaign was.
I thought the Halo 3 campaign was alright.
In my opinion, the Halo 3 campaign is the worst out of the entire series.
The gameplay was fine, I think, but from a story perspective,
multiplayer was fine, but the campaign, oh my gosh.
No, I was talking about like the gameplay for the campaign. I thought the levels were designed well, but I don't like the story. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Halo
4 looks awesome, though.
I just thought it would have been a good idea. Just like Halo 5, the 720 is a 720 launch title, and then they could make like a Halo 5 themed 720 console, which I would buy in a second. Just a thought.
That Cortana level in Halo 3 sucked, though. I remember that.
It was pretty easy, though. Once you did it a few times.
That's kind of a hot debate. It's like, yeah, the flood sucks, but like they're kind of easy at the same time. It's like
they're just not fun to fight.
Yeah, that's the point. You get a flamethrower, I guess,
Yeah.
It's like you just get like shotgun. Just get like a shotgun and like a plasma rifle or like a carbine or something. Like worst guns to use in the flood would be like BR, assault rifle, pistol. Like basically most human weapons are horrible on the flood, except for the shotgun and like rocket.
The shotgun destroys them.
Yeah, and then like Needler is like useless. Plasma pistol is like plasma rifle is the best for like plasma like shooting weapons.
Because the energy sword, it usually uses up 10 per kill, but it only uses up like 3 per kill on the flood, so you can just like slash through them like crazy. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, weird numbers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I only have 3 left for this energy sword, yet I can still slice someone with it. I thought I needed 10 for that.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some other things. During the panel that the Halo 4 Forge stuff was shown, Frankie did confirm that we could lower weapons, and he said drop weapons as well.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so Spartan will look like how in the Halo 3 beta, how he looked like on the armor page or whatever. It's like they're making the martial arts pose with his fists up, right?
Well, he came out later in like some interview, or I think on the podcast, saying that he'd been drinking a little bit, so he said he confirmed a lot. But yeah, jokes on us a little bit. But no, weapons down and weapon dropping. I would question.
They need to be drunk when they're writing up those Halo bulletins. So maybe they'll give us a little bit more info.
You said this.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe they'll give us a little more info to our questions, other than just like, oh, we don't have answers right now, but just keep on checking back.
I like.
Yeah, at least that's better than the long drawn out, dodged paragraphs.
Yeah.
At least they're to the point. It's like, yeah, we would like to talk about it, but we can't. Bam. There you go.
And notice, listeners, Dusty will defend Mothership, Microsoft, and 343 until the day he dies.
What do you mean Mothership? Just because I've signed an NDA with them doesn't mean I'm like head deep in their stuff. I don't work for the company.
I'm just quicker to criticize them. That's all.
I've said some things against. I've said things against 343i and Microsoft.
Yeah, but there's still some restraint. You can sense it. You can.
I know.
I've voiced my opinion. I'm not held to any legal status other than anything that would be considered under NDA, which right now I don't have any information on Halo 4 that would be. So I basically am under no constraint right now.
Yeah. You just gotta hold their feet to the fire sometimes. You know, you can't be
right.
Can't be
well,
too
that's kind of our job as being on this podcast and part of the Halo community as a whole.
As journalists.
As journalists with no bias.
Well, it's up to us to keep them honest, and if there's a big community outcry against something and you call your developer out on it, then they have to respond in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's generally how things work in the gaming community, right? They announce something, there's a big outcry about it, then it settles down, it accepts it, and the cycle continues.
Yeah.
People just there's always that like, especially if you go to the official forums, like the Waypoint forums or the Bungie.net forums.
Gosh.
There's always there's just constant and incessant.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. That reminds me of like when who's the company that makes who's the studio that makes those Infamous games for PS3? Is that Insomniac? I think it's Insomniac, right?
No idea.
I don't.
so.
I'm not a PS3 person.
You know the Infamous games, though, right?
Yeah.
You've heard of him with the it's like the Static Shock guy,
yeah.
But he's white. Oh,
Static Shock.
Yeah, but I remember when they announced like Infamous 2 a couple years ago. Cause in the first game, the main character, he was bald, but in the second game, they were gonna give him like hair. He was gonna have like a full head of like brown hair. And all the fans were had it was a big outcry about like, why are you giving him hair? He looks better bald. He's supposed to be bald. Ah. and like, yeah, I'm serious. You can look this up. And like, eventually the outcry was just so much like the fans responded to it like so negatively that they made him bald in the final product.
I don't like that though. I don't like the fans. And this kind of goes back to the.
Well, no, then you and Adam Sessler should go on like a date together, because that's what I'm getting to was like, and when this outcry happened. And they caved in and maybe reverted back to bald. G4 guy Adam Sessler, who yeah. But anyway, Adam Sessler came out and he's all like, oh well, like this is scary for the future of the gaming industry because this is showing that the player base has too much impact and too much sway on what the development studio does, and the development studio is just like being bullied by the player base into doing things that they didn't want to do creatively, blah 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 blah.
I'm
And I was like,
I'm not,
why's that a bad thing? You know, let's have a little democracy.
I'm not blaming that on the player base. I'm blaming it on the studio for caving. They should defend their art and say, listen, we're gonna put in the hair. But at the same time, I don't think the studio should abuse their fan base. It should be a healthy relationship, but you shouldn't cave.
Yeah,
to
don't
the
be
fans
Bungie.
once. Yeah, I think Bungie's good, but
I thought Bungie was a little snide with their fan base a little too many times, to be honest.
but I don't think you should cave all the time, but I think you should be mindful of your fan base.
Yeah,
Because
listen. Basically, keep an open ear.
Fans shouldn't make the game because fans are frankly not always. I mean, fans never like change. They're the most
WoW
you'll
players
see
are
that
the
with every
worst.
game.
WoW players
Yeah.
hate change.
Well, especially with an RPG where the whole thing's grinding and stuff
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
They don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
anything to change. Yeah.
Oh yeah, WoW players. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you'll see that a lot. And I don't think studios should cave too much.
No, but they should still take input.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Sensor needs to shut his trap and
I
not
don't
be
think-
so,
yeah, exactly.
not be
Don't
so
blame it
afraid about democracy in the gaming industry.
It's not democracy, and it's not the players' fault. I think because you're always, like I said, you're always gonna have. A studio should expect that. They should also. I mean, they should a good balance between community and creativity. I mean, that's what you need.
Yeah. The thing is, I used to actually like Adam Sessler, but he started annoying me more and more.
All right, let's get back on topic here. We've kind of diverted off, and we need to get back on track.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
get this kind of wrapped up. So, Daft had an article on the Halo 2 a rumor about Halo 2 anniversary being made. So you want to talk about that a little bit, Daft?
I've heard that's since been debunked, though.
It's a rumor.
Says who? It's a rumor.
Says you.
Rumor has it. Ooh. Rumor has it. Ooh. Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Yeah, that song.
The singing
God.
portion
It's kind
of
of
the podcast.
obnoxious. She's just saying the same thing like 10 times.
Yeah, I really don't like it.
not as good as other ones. Yeah. Let me find the article. Do edit this out.
It's on
Oh,
Game
here-
Informer.
Here it is.
On Game Informer.
Yeah. So, according to the rumor section of the official Xbox magazine, a remake of Halo 2 is currently in development. Says here, quote, following the success of remake Halo Anniversary, 343 Industries has now started development of Halo 2 Anniversary, unquote. There's no real evidence, but this is from official Xbox magazine, so who knows. And then it's got everyone talking. Everyone's like, ooh, Halo 2 Anniversary. But before I finish reading the rest of this article, let's talk about that. How do you guys feel about a Halo 2 Anniversary, of the possibility of that?
So, that's a matter of, do you really want the developers to take time away from Halo 5, making Halo 5 great?
They don't need to just hire more people. Simple as that. You stimulate the economy and stimulate the jobs market. It's a good thing.
Right, so they basically pulled on Certain Affinity, which had worked on Halo 2 map packs, Halo 3 map packs, and they did Halo Reach stuff as well. So they were, I don't know how involved they were with Anniversary. I think they actually reached out to someone else. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get those kind of people that know the game, have worked with the tools before, and can put out something like that, I think it'd be probably pretty good. I'd buy it because I'm a Halo fan.
My thing with Halo 2 is it's so ingrained in the game are the glitches. Like, I can't imagine playing Halo 2 without a BXR. I can't imagine without a super bounce or a BYB or a quad shot.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine playing that game without any
This is
of
all
those
just flying
glitches.
over my head.
So that
because
was
I
one of the
around.
things that we talked about in the last recording that didn't get recorded. But it's, yeah, I'm shooting myself in the foot for that now. There's, in my opinion, I wouldn't mind those glitches taken out. And if they did something like they did with Anniversary, where they just brought parts or certain maps back into, I guess, the Halo 4 as a map pack.
Yeah.
And just redid the graphics for Halo 2, then that wouldn't be a problem. Granted, I don't know how many people would like it.
I'd pre-order the heck out of that.
Well, I would too.
So yeah, you're saying just just remake the campaign and then just do the same thing as the Anniversary for Halo 1. Just add
I have
some
a feeling
remade.
that's what they would do. I don't think they would go through and remake every single Halo 2 map, because they already remade 1 and kind of 2.
Yeah.
Well, 3 actually, if you think about it, 3.
Headlong.
Well, they
When
had
are they gonna
Headlong,
remake Halo 3, huh?
which was Halo 2 only, and then they pulled from Battle Canyon from Halo 1, but it was also Beaver Creek in Halo 2.
Beaver Creek is the shit.
So there was that, and then there was Tombstone in Halo 2, which was the remake of Hang 'em High from Halo 1, which is now High Noon in Halo Reach. So in essence, you have 3 Halo 2 maps already.
I know what you mean, but I only count Headlong personally as the true Halo 2
and then
map.
Containment is Hemorrhage. So that's 4 maps in a sense.
Right. Oh, you're not Containment. You mean Coagulation.
Did I say Containment? Yeah, I meant Coagulation. Sorry.
But Hemorrhage is really its own thing.
Yeah, it's not really that much of a Blood Gulch replica.
Yeah, it's too straight. It's not curved enough.
Yeah.
No. It's Blood Gulch bases with a
the middle lane is too wide.
They didn't make a road. Like, cause you know how like Coagulation kind of had like a road on it, like a little path. Yeah. There's not really one on Hemorrhage very much. Like
no.
There's kind of just like the geographic like the terrain is like it's kind of in the shape, but like not really.
It's like you would have people purposely driving down this path to get to base of base, but now people just fly straight down the middle because it's so open.
And everyone just like flies right over the hill in the middle like it's a jump, it's a ramp basically.
It's like the layout is the same, but the terrain is not.
Yeah. So that's what we think it would be like. Remake the campaign and pick some of the fan favorite Halo 2 maps and remake them, and then add them to Halo 4 as like DLC.
Yeah, I would think that's how they would do it.
Yeah, because in Frankie's wording, they wouldn't want to disrupt the Halo 4 ecosystem, quote unquote,
or the
by reviving Halo 2 multiplayer suite.
Well, and then Halo 2 already exists on the PC as Halo 2 Vista.
Go out and buy Halo 2 Vista.
It's cheap. You can get it relatively cheap. You can probably get it for $15.
It has achievements. I got them all. They were hard.
Well, not all of them were hard.
A couple were like the.
I'm still missing
the golden gun thing or whatever. That was.
Yeah, I got all of them, right?
I did get all of them. Yeah, like the golden gun one where you get like the plasma rifle that shoots the fuel rod shots. Yeah. That was horrible. That was awful.
The scarab gun.
Yeah, you got like a guy this big.
Yeah, on one of my gamer tags, I don't have that achievement. I don't have Rain Man, and I don't have Decorated. I have 3 achievements that I'm missing.
Lesson for all studios who make multiplayer games: never, ever, ever make achievements for your game that is something like play a bunch of matches or on like blah 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 map, play a bunch of because it's like. The older your game gets, the harder it's to be. The hardest it's going to be to accomplish that. Like with Halo 2 Vista, we got to like arrange people to do it now, basically. So yeah, multiplayer achievement.
There are some where it's like, that'd makes sense to put in there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, the ones in Halo 3 are a pain. The FFA ones.
Because the FFA was such a terrible decision. Oh. I can't tell you how many times I've killed 2 people with a Spartan laser.
But it's team.
But FFA. Exactly.
Yeah, it's team, which sucks.
Yeah, I got a lot of those FFA achievements, completely, absolutely, legitimately, no questions asked.
It's impressive.
No. No.
I got the monk running over one completely legitimately. There was a guy who was idle.
Yeah, I got the mongoose. Yeah, me too.
I just them up for those scout shoulders. That's all I wanted. I wanted those scout shoulders so desperately.
I got the mongoose mode down on Isolation.
Nice.
Which was
Isolation.
I don't like that map.
No one knows that map.
I did too.
Yeah.
I got the killing.
Go on.
It was just kind of out of random coincidence.
Yeah, I got the Killing Frenzy one legitimately. Also in Isolation, I got in the Ghost and just like splatter people and stuff.
It's not that difficult. If you're a pretty good or an intermediate like leveled player on Halo, I mean, you could probably get like a Killing Frenzy. It's not that difficult. Just get like a power weapon, get a shotgun. You can get one and it's not that difficult. Or where it's really easy is the swords game type.
Swords.
Like you remember that free for all swords? That was the.
I didn't care for that because everyone was just like everyone was getting those like lock on like duels. It was just obnoxious.
It was like a giant Jedi fight. That's how I got the triple sword achievement in FFA. I think it was through one of those game types. But it was so much fun. It was like a Jedi game type. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's like Attack of the Clones when they're all in that arena, but they're not fighting each other; they're fighting the droids.
I know what you mean though, but you had to be skilled because there was like a melee strike that was faster than the regular right trigger strike.
Yeah, I hated that.
You had to go like alternate melee bash with like the long. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
I always just did the lunge myself. I never like did it.
No. You only do lunges if they're longer away from you, but you always do the melee bash if they're up close because it's faster.
I guess so. It's like Griffball rules, kind of, right?
Yeah. Well, Griffball's a whole science in itself. I don't even know how that works.
Yeah.
Because there's like that whole strategy where you got to kill someone first and like fly off their corpse to get the. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know.
But okay, here's my recipe for success for 343. 343. You want to be a powerhouse. You want to be a Halo powerhouse. Do this. Get certain affinity to make Halo 2 Anniversary. Get Robot Entertainment to make Halo Wars 2, and then have your core staff make Halo 5. Like, have this holy trinity of development going on.
That would probably be the best way to do it.
Yeah, simple as that.
Yep. There,
now,
we got a plan for you. Jess, make it happen. I know you're listening.
Yeah. Even though she probably hates me by now, but...
I don't think so. She still listens to it.
Healthy critique.
Nice of her.
But nice.
I liked her forge porn that she put on her blog. That was very nice for her to put that on.
A bunch of anime girls made of like blue spawn points.
Yeah.
When are we going to get a fully integrated forge porn system?
Oh gosh.
Oh
gosh.
Well, no,
let's not go there. Let's
Reach,
not feed the masses.
But for Reach, we didn't need that because we had Cat. Don't you understand? Remember all those Cat screenshots at the beginning of Reach's lifespan?
Yeah, those are ridiculous.
Those were ridiculous. I remember because Daft would send me like 6 a day. I'm like, Daft, I don't want these.
But what are you guys' predictions for the assets of the girls in Halo 4?
Well, the armor they're wearing is unisex, so it really shouldn't matter. I don't,
Right.
So too bad for you.
Well, I mean, it wasn't Bungie basically a bunch of middle school boys, kind of like sense of humor, right? So like that's why they did that. But
what, having the different armor for
having the
male and female? I don't necessarily think so.
The proportions.
It just makes sense to have the different genders there.
Yeah, but I mean the shape, like their physique. You know what I mean, Dusty? Come on, you're a guy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, why not? They're supposed to make all the armor is supposed to be custom made anyways to fit. Whoever's wearing them.
But I think Spartan 2's armor is unisex. I remember reading that somewhere. So.
Yeah. Well,
but the underlying, like the black exoskeleton, did fit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the armor pieces, yeah, but like the under armor pieces were, I mean, they basically fit to the person that was wearing it.
But then again, you think in the Spartan, I guess at least in the Spartan 2 program, wouldn't they pick out girls who like genetically would be like just like tall and slender, not like not like hourglass, like super curvy?
They'd probably
it wouldn't be like combat efficient.
They'd probably look like those Olympic swimmers. You know what I'm talking about?
Not tall.
Yeah.
Like there was Kelly, who was a sniper, was like
shout out to Piggy, oink oink, right?
Was the shortest in John's squad, but she was by far the fastest, and she was the best sniper on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, wasn't Linda the sniper? No, Linda was the sniper. Yeah.
Or sorry, Linda. Sorry.
Kelly was the fastest. Linda was the sniper. You're getting
right. Okay. Sorry.
Kelly, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And Kelly is with Dr. Halsey. Who knows where they are?
They're going to Dairy Queen.
I hope they don't.
Which is Kelly's favorite restaurant.
According to Frankie, they're going to make some kind of appearance in Halo 5 and 6.
I hope not. I don't want to integrate the book too much.
Expand the universe, not for the expanded universe.
They're doing that in Halo 4.
Yeah, and that makes
Frankie said that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, Egan, this is a perfect
I'm ecstatic
place.
for it.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. No, Egan, this is perfect. The people listening to you voiced your frustration with 343 releasing too much content at once and how you don't like to read.
It's the thing is, I don't want to have to read a book in order to fully understand a game. You know what I mean?
They're not gonna pull stuff in like that to where you would have to read the book in order to understand it. They're going to be smart about it and at least dumb it down enough to where you can get a sense of what's going on.
Damn casuals. No, but Egan, you feel like they're releasing too much content at once, so all like Cryptum and like Silentium and
I feel like I hear about some new book every 5 minutes that they're releasing. I don't really care, to be completely honest. I just want to play a game. I don't really want all this crap, to be completely honest. I don't want all these books, all this extended fiction.
That's not for some people. So
yeah, I know what you mean, but I part of me wants to read it. Like I am reading through the books, but I feel like they're giving me too much to the point I'm like, all right, like I don't want to read any of it anymore. It's like,
but they're not like forcing you to read the books. They're not making the game in such a way where you have to read the books in order to know what's going on.
But I want to read the books, but I feel like it's content overload. I feel like there's too many books.
But that's your choice.
Egan, I don't think it's too much content. Like they're not going like it's not as bad as it possibly could be. But I know what he means though. Like okay, for example, by the way, if you guys want to go check out on Halo Waypoint, they showed off the cover of the next Forerunner book, which is called Silentium, and it's coming out in January of 2013. So like okay, so Thursday War is coming out in October. Silentium comes out in January. That's like 3 months apart. I mean, they are kind of releasing books like crazy, like as far as book releases go, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, they are.
It's like boom, boom. I mean, they're really trying to make it into the next Star Wars, like totally, fully fledged next Star Wars, like this mega franchise now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of an observation.
Right.
So what's going to be the Phantom Menace then? What's going to be the
Phantom? Their flop.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, one. So these are all tangents. This all goes back to Halo 2 Anniversary. I would love that. They don't need to like remake the multiplayer. Just add some DLC to Halo 4, and many people, myself included, would love to see the campaign remade. That'd be awesome. But to finish reading this article, so that was the original story. It's possibly in development, rumor, and then I got an update today. It says here, Halo series developer 343 Industries has reportedly denied that a Halo 2 Anniversary is in the works. It says here, they said, quote, "We are not working on that at this time. We are kind of busy," unquote. Said an unidentified 343 representative. Which reminds me a lot of like the one of the final scenes in the 1970s Willy Wonka movie, where Grandpa Joe goes up to Willy Wonka, and he's like, Willy Wonka, what about the chocolate for Charlie? And he's like, "I'm kind of busy, sir."
Oh yeah, I remember that scene. That's an old movie.
It is.
That's a great movie. Gene Wilder is an excellent actor.
I don't know what was more weird, either that movie or the book. Because I read the book.
The book is weird. Yeah, I've read the book too. It's
and then I read the sequel to that. That one's even weirder.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah,
I'll bleep that out.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I fussed a little bit too much.
Yeah, Roald Dahl was he was kind of weird.
I haven't seen the new one, and I don't plan to.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't plan to.
The Gene Wilder one still is the best.
Yeah, but for on a side note, Maroon 5 did a cover of that Pure Imagination song that he sings in the movie. Adam Levine sounds kind of weird. Which, by the way, the new Maroon 5 album which came out was horrible.
It's Maroon 5. It's not that. To make on my list.
The thing with Maroon 5 though is their music has gotten progressively worse over the years. Like it's just gone down in quality. Like their first album, it was like soul rock. It was some deep stuff. It was all right.
Yeah.
It got modernized. Anything that gets modernized dies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they completely turned it like a pop rock.
Like Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know they became all
Beyonce.
Pop,
Let's go to the beach.
Moves like Jagger, as catchy as that song is, it was like the final like nail in the pop coffin from Maroon 5. Like that just solidified it. They're a pop band now. They're not soul rock anymore. They're just like what am I even listening to anymore?
I mean, he's a talented musician. It's just the
Adam
songs.
Levine?
Yeah.
Look. The first two Maroon 5 albums, Songs About Jane and It Won't Be Soon Before Long, were good. Some parts of the third one, Hands All Over, were all right. That's it. After that, just no more.
Right.
It's personal opinion.
I agree with that, actually.
I will defend the first two Maroon 5 albums and parts of the third until the day I die.
Anything else after that is like, eh.
Ugh.
Is it just me, or is a lot of music nowadays is a collaboration between artists?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah, no, Maroon 5 loves pulling people onto their stuff. It's like, no.
Well, it's not just Maroon 5, it's a lot of other people as well.
You know the Coldplay? Okay, for Coldplay for their Viva La Vida album, one of the songs, like, they got Jay-Z to come on and do it with them, but it was so horrible that they didn't even, like, put it in the final product, and then they just, like, put it on, like, this B-side thing that they released, like, a year after, and it's pretty terrible. Side note. Although, what's weird is that Rihanna did a collaboration with Coldplay in their newest album.
We're gonna need to wrap this up real quick.
Which was kind of mixed. And then Rihanna did a Maroon 5 one, which is screw that. I don't like collaborations. Just do your own thing. We don't need Rihanna. We don't need we don't need Christina Aguilera. We don't need that. We don't need any of that. Ugh. Yuck. Lady Antebellum. We don't need that either.
Yeah. I mean, there are some people out there that are good, and I think will stay good for a while. But
if we're on the music, I'm just gonna plug real quick. Frank Ocean coming out. Channel Orange. That's all my stuff. Pyramids, a sweet song. So yeah, for all of you into the R&B and rap like I am. So.
Yeah. There's supposedly a fourth Daft Punk album in the works right now, which
Frank Ocean.
a new Daft Punk album is an absolute event that everyone must attend. And in the world of techno, don't listen to dubstep. It's all the same. It's all just like wub 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 wub. Like house music is house music is so much better in my opinion. Yeah. And Radiohead is cool, and so is Blur. But you're only a true Blur fan if you listen to a song that is not song 2. Yeah, woohoo, yeah. They have so much better stuff. He wrote that song as like making fun of grunge. It's a parody, right?
I know, it's weird, and it's like one of those songs that just like top the charts. It's like, wow, that's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let's wrap this up. Oh wait, we didn't cover the 8 gig install.
Oh no, we did. We did that. We did a whole episode about that. What are you talking about?
You mean the one that didn't record?
No, we know. Venom. No, I mean not Venom. Dusty, go on the website. You're losing your mind. Did you have Alzheimer's? Go on the website right now. Look, I'm looking at it right now. It says, it's loading. Podtacular, 298. Halo 4 update. The 8 gigabyte install also strikes a conversation, and we would love to hear your opinions on it.
Oh, we talked about it last time?
Yeah, we already did.
We did.
Dusty,
then why did we talk about it again?
Because I don't know, it's such a big issue. It's like people always, it's like people are debating about it. Is it attacks on your hard drive? Is it not attacks on your hard drive? Or is it an individual mandate on your hard drive? I mean, what is it? Nobody even knows anymore. But look. Basically, my platform on the issue is, I can handle it because I have a 250 gigabyte hard drive. Therefore, it's a non-issue. Because it doesn't negatively affect me, it's a non-issue for everyone. How's that? And people who can't handle it, unfortunately, I mean, it's sad, but they need to keep up with the times and the technology if they want to play the newest games like Halo 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, we didn't get any emails on that. I was hoping people would actually write in about it, but no one's commented, so... Oh well.
Everyone's keeping up with the time.
So, okay. Well, that pretty much is a wrap for this show. If you have any comments on any of the stuff that we talked about tonight, including Halo 4 Forge or the rumor on Halo 2 Anniversary, please feel free to email us. And the email for that is submissions@podtacular.com. We would love to hear what you guys think. And also comment on the 8 gig install, because we still want to know what you think about that as well.
And join the forums,
Join the forums. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
a
must.
We talk about Michael Savage. We talk about politics. We talk about other games. We talk about Bungie's new IP.
We're going to have a show on that at some point. We will have a show on that.
Yeah, politics to Michael Savage. That's what we'll have a show on.
And the Bungie IP is what I meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daft will have his politics show at some point as well.
Yeah.
Also-
on that show, I will make a hilarious joke about the election day and Halo 4 significance.
Yes. Also, you can call our listener voicemail and leave a message that way. The number for that is 206-339-6937.
Ooh.
Yep. Or you can send an audio file through email as well.
Yeah, we still gotta collect all the audio logs so we can, hearsay story. Yeah, kill the cop in the freezer, exactly. Oh.
He's already dead. I've killed him plenty of times. Anyways.
That was really fun killing a human, like, for once.
Yeah, for a reason, without being like team betrayal, and then they get mad at you.
Killing a cop. You know.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
not that killing a cop is a good thing in real life, but in Halo, he was a corrupt cop anyway, so it's justified. He shot at me first. It's self-defense, actually.
Yeah, my reticle turned red, officer. It's okay.
Exactly.
Oh, only if that happened in real life.
Oh, come on, Dusty. Hey.
Also, make sure you check out Monday Night Matchmaking. 8:30s Eastern, 5:30s Pacific.
Yeah, message me or message Cars or Dusty and come play matchmaking with us or customs.
That's 1:30 GMT or British time. All right. Make sure you check out the beta forums as well. I actually am planning to do a lot of updates this weekend on that.
Awesome.
One thing I would like to plug before we wrap this up is a website called HaloUnity.com. Anyone who is familiar with Halo charts or Halo challenges is familiar with Firestream. He's a big web developer and has come up with this website where all these communities can come together and share events, share info, share anything that they do. So there's, I think, over 70 communities represented right now over on Halo Unity. So make sure you go over and check it out. There's achievements, there's credit system, there's a ranking system, there's things you can buy. You can go and join under our group that we have. There's a Podtacular community that you can go and sign under. And for people that are current members of the forums, if you go over there within the next couple of days, when I get the award uploaded to the site, you will be able to get an award for being a member of the original forums.
Awesome.
Which will get you a decent amount of credits and XP that you can use.
For what?
You can buy items like medals and stuff.
Awesome.
Ooh.
So go over there and check it out. It's really cool. They've done a very good job with it, and they're still kind of in the beta stage, but it's fully functional, and there are a lot of cool changes coming down the road. And I had the privilege of being on their first show, and where they talked to a lot of community members. So definitely go check it out.
That's cool.
And sign up.
It's in beta stage, like something else that's been in beta stage for quite a long time.
That's why I'm working on the forums a lot this weekend.
Okay.
So,
I mean, spring break is almost over. You better, get a move on.
my spring break is still going on. What are you talking about?
Well, actually, me and Negan are on a really long spring break right now. It's called summer, so thank God.
So you'll give me to the end of your spring break to get it done, right?
Sure, yeah, there you go.
All right. I'm hoping to have it fully done by PAX. That's my new
Which
deadline,
is when?
Which is the end of next month, which is starting, August 31st through September 2nd.
Yeah, I think, healthy, maximum, latest time should be, a month before Halo 4. Like latest, just to be healthy and safe and prepared.
Right. So I will be working on that this weekend.
Ooh.
Thanks again for listening, guys. I know this came out earlier than we told you our next one was going to be out, and as you probably heard by the title, this is point 1. We're going to have a point 2 for after Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, which is this weekend. So we're hoping that we get some more new Halo 4 news out of Comic-Con, which it seems like they're, from the email and Twitter traffic I've seen, they're going to have a decent presentation there for Halo 4. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And actually, the day of this recording, there was some info that came out about some Forward Unto Dawn behind the scenes stuff, and we'll cover that in the next show as well.
Yeah.
Right. So until next time, guys, keep on fragging trucks.